Time for our coach. I know so many of you commented on Facebook that you were excited for our speaker today. And she's making her second appearance on the wake up call. I need t-shirts, once you hit like 5 times on the wake up call, it's like SNL, right? You get like a jacket or something. But that she's making her second appearance on the call. She's a 2-time elite and a 1-time premier. We just don't say that enough on here, how much that road to elite is an incredible recognition. She has been a premier coach. She has been an elite coach now 2 times. She's a Success Club All-Star legend. She's been 40 months in Success Club because she's been around 3.5 years. So if you do the math, it's almost every single month that she has been a coach. She also, I love this, got started as a success starter. So that means hitting Success Club in 3 months out of your first 6 months in the business. So we talk about Success Starter all the time as it being a success indicator. So coaches who started out early with achieving Success Club, we have noticed their success is different. Hey, you try to say success a whole bunch of times on a Monday morning. Anyway, I love her team name. It's Waymaker Dynasty. Rah-ha! You guys from Charlotte, North Carolina, Morgan Butler, come on into the stream here. Hi, Morgan.
Hi, Sandy. Thank you for the incredible introduction.
You're very, very welcome. Glad to have you again. I think you were on very early on as a newer coach, so this is exciting.
Yes, and I am not super pregnant. Last time I was about to pop. So I'm feeling better this time.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I am going to let you take on the first question of your interview is, when did things take off in the last 3.5 years of coaching? What were you doing for it to finally kind of snap into place?
Yeah, that's a great question. So honestly, you guys, my business took such a huge turn once I finally decided to start marketing my business towards my ideal avatar. Now, some of you guys might be like, what is an avatar? I've heard this term before, but I don't know what it means. Let me share with you guys. So in business, an avatar is essentially like a fictional character that helps us understand who your ideal customer is so that you can more easily find them. I know for me, when I was a new coach, I used to hear this word avatar and be like, oh, don't know what that means. Just not going to think about it. But truly, my business changed when I actually took the time to figure out what my avatar was. And an avatar is your detailed profile of your ideal customer. And so your avatar focuses on just that one person and outlines everything about them. And so when you really understand who your ideal customer is, what they look like, what their interests are, what their habits are, challenges, aspirations, pretty much just everything about them, you'll be so much more effective in marketing to them. And so that doesn't make any assumptions or categorize people in groups. Your avatar focuses on the one person and outlines everything about them. And so in the beginning of my business, I was casting such a wide net, trying to attract myself to so many different men and women. And I would actually really struggle with writing posts, struggle with understanding who I was speaking to, because I didn't want to call out a certain type of person and then leave other people feeling excluded. And so I was essentially trying to attract myself to everyone instead of focusing on just that one woman that I knew that I really wanted to help in my business. But honestly, I just kind of lacked the confidence to speak directly to her. And so I really realized early on that I was doing it wrong because my team retention was just not great. Like, I could recruit them to my team, I could get them going, but then they were falling off so quickly. And essentially I was working harder and definitely not working smarter. And so I realized it was because I was recruiting and attracting the wrong person. And so I would say that my business really, really took a turn once I started focusing on my avatar and keeping her in mind every single time I wrote a post, every single time that I wrote on my stories, every single time I did an IG live, and I actually started recruiting my dream team women that wanted to stick by my side and run this business together. It was actually because I had stuff in common with those people. We understood each other's stories, where we came from. We had similar visions for our life that we were excited to run towards together. And so truly getting crystal clear on the woman that I was meant to be attracting in my business really helped me recruit my dream team. But it also made this business 10 times more fun for me and so much less stressful because I knew who I wanted to join my team. And I started writing content directly to her, which I felt made me way more confident in how I was showing up on social media. And I wasn't trying to attract everyone, because when you try to attract everyone, you essentially attract no one. And so that has been such a game changer for my business. And I truly saw such a big turn once I started changing that focus.
It's so nice to see the arc of when you started and now 3.5 years later. It's just like the learning that you get, and you can also look back and say, wow, I was really talking to the person that either doesn't exist or just doesn't relate to me. So really appreciate that. Now I want to talk to the audience about the problem solution that we do on the wake-up call. When I hear a lot of rumbling that something is challenging or difficult or too hard, I try to focus the topic around that. Morgan and I talked about this topic, and it was about, why do newer coaches feel like this business is so hard? They're working so hard and not gaining any traction. So we reverse engineered it. And I want you to talk about what this topic means to you and where you're taking it.
Sure. So recruiting new coaches to my team and helping them find success is seriously something I'm very passionate about. I mean, this business has changed my life in such a big way. And so I just am so honored that I get to help women do the same thing. And so time after time, I would see my new coaches just spinning their wheels, trying to do more and more to gain traction, when I realized that it really wasn't about doing more. It's just about doing better and being more efficient and getting more specific and making that plan of action instead of throwing spaghetti at the wall, which I know so many of us probably do, because that's what I was doing as a new coach. And so helping my new coaches get clear on a few things is what I'm going to share with you guys today. And that has truly transformed my business and my coach's business, and it just really has helped my coaches start out strong. And so today I want to share with you guys just 3 simple things that I help my new coaches get started on so they can confidently move forward in their business. And so how many of us have said, I'm curious to ourselves, I can't find any coaches who want to work the business with me? I get it. Me too. I've said that so many times in my business, and I see my new coaches sometimes saying this to me too. And so you might be wondering, why? Why is this happening? I'm showing up, I'm putting myself out there. Why am I not finding working coaches? Well, it's simply because it's easy to show up as challengers, but it's not always easy to show up as a coach, right? Like, it's easy to post our workouts. It's easy to share our healthy meals. It's easy to talk about our accountability groups. But when it comes to coaching, doesn't feel as easy. And usually it's because of 2 things: fear, and because it's forcing you to step outside of your comfort zone, right? But in order to attract working coaches to your team, we have to be sharing the coaching side of things so people know that there's a career opportunity. And I've noticed on my team, if new coaches just show up as a challenger, she's going to struggle to grow her team and to find working coaches who want to grow with her. So here are a few things that I share with my new coaches, and I encourage them to share about so that they show up as a coach and not just as a challenger. So if you have notes, get some pen and paper out, because you're going to want to write this stuff down. So first, I encourage my new coaches to talk about their life vision. This is so important, you guys. And that means, what do you want your life to look like in 3 to 5 years from now? How do you want to wake up and feel every morning? What do you want your day-to-day to look like? How do you want to be spending your time, spending your weekends? What do you want your relationships to look like? Where do you want to be living? Knowing what you want out of your life is going to help you in just building your business in a direction that makes you proud. And in turn, when you start sharing these life visions, people are going to hear that on the other side of the screen and be like, wait, I have that life vision. And this coaching thing that she's doing is taking her towards reaching those goals. I need that too. And so they're going to relate to your life vision. And next, not only your life vision, but your team vision. What do you want your team to look like 3 to 5 years from now? What big goals are you guys going to be crushing together? How do you want the women on your team to feel? What's the mission of your team? Who will you be serving? What will you and your team be doing together? Are you guys going to be traveling to big events, hosting monthly and local sip and sweats? What is the vision of your team? This is important because people want to see a vision of what they're going to be joining. Next is belief. This is something I ask my new coaches to share, is, what are you believing for yourself? What are the big things that you want? Next is sharing about the ideal coach that you're looking for. Who is the woman that you're serving in this business? Write a post about her and literally speak directly to her. Like, write out posts explaining exactly who you're looking for. I know every time that I've written out posts that state who I'm looking for and why I'm looking for her, I always have women that come out and relate to it and they want to be a part of it. And lastly, sharing the woman that you're becoming. What does your dream self look like? How is she living her life? How does she feel? It's important to share the woman you're becoming because that's going to inspire other women to want to wake up and start showing up as her today too. And so being bold about the way my new coaches share about their business is helping them gain so much more, way more traction in coach recruiting. And I help my coaches understand that showing up as a coach means you're openly inviting people to join you on the journey every day in the language that you use. And so another thing that I see my new coaches do that really hinders their joy and success is just trying to attract everyone to the business. It can be so stressful trying to attract so many different kind of people to your business, right? That's kind of what I shared in the beginning is when I was trying to attract everyone, I would write up a big post and then delete, backspace, because I would call out the woman I wanted. But then I really lacked the confidence to hit post and speak directly to her. And so trying to attract ourselves to everyone can leave us feeling stressed, overwhelmed, anxious because we're trying to be something for everyone. When in reality, we're not going to be for everyone, and that's okay. That's how it should be. That's the beautiful thing about this business is you get to run it the way you see fitting. And so if I try to attract everyone to my business, I end up attracting no one because then my messaging is so lukewarm from watering myself down to try to attract myself to everyone. And so at the beginning of my new coach's journey, I try to help them understand who their ideal avatar is so that they can start niching down from there. And when I know the person that I'm meant to be serving and I'm meant to be recruiting, I can be so much more relatable to her. I can write content that speaks directly to her and where she's at in life. And so here are a few questions that I have my new coaches answer to help them get to know the woman that they are meant to be serving in this business. So again, get that paper out because you're going to want to write this stuff down. So the first is season of life. I know the woman that I want to serve is probably living a similar day-to-day as me, maybe a young stay-at-home mom who's living a similar life to me. So who are you serving in this business? Is it young professionals, teachers, women who have similar interests to you? Another thing is, who are her enemies? Is her enemy the mirror? Is it the scale? Is it herself? Is it negative self-talk? Who are her heroes? Are her children her heroes? Are her coworkers her heroes? What kinds of goals does your ideal avatar have for herself? What does she do for fun? What types of music does she listen to or TV shows does she watch? What does she secretly want out of her life? How does she want to be perceived? What obstacles is she facing in her daily life? What brings her shame? What holds her back from saying yes to coaching? And how can you help her? Some of these questions might be kind of silly, but I promise you they're not. Because when you know that dream team woman that you want to be attracting, you get to show up and serve her right where she's at. And so once my new coaches understand the answers to these questions, they can confidently move forward in writing content that speaks directly to the woman that they're wanting to serve in this business. And so attracting my niche is being proof that the product works because I'm showing my ideal customer how Beachbody can work for her right now, today, in the current life that she's living. And so I'm confident in these things that she's struggling with. And so I'm able to show her how she can make it work in her day-to-day life through her struggles. And so you might feel like you're excluding people by focusing on speaking to your avatar in your marketing, but I promise you're not, because people outside of your avatar will still be inspired by you and they're still going to want to do this with you. And lastly, I see my new coaches spinning their tires over and over and over again when they simply lack belief in themselves. If we struggle to believe in ourselves and believe that we can make this work, people on the other side of the screen, they're going to feel that. And so my new coaches who lack self-belief constantly downplay their abilities and settle for less than what they deserve. And so it's important to me that I help my new coaches really believe in themselves so that they can move forward in knowing that they trust themselves to show up. So here are a few things I do to help my new coaches really believe in themselves. One, I challenge them to know who they want to be. Again, who's the woman you're working towards becoming? Figure out your dream self and start showing up as her today, because that's how you're going to become her. Not by waiting and wishing and dreaming about who you want to be, but writing down those qualities and showing up as her now and today. Next, it's writing down 3 affirmations that are going to crush your limiting beliefs and speaking those things over yourself every single day. It's facing your fears. Do one scary thing a day that pushes you out of your comfort zone in your business. I help my new coaches by being prepared to win. Don't just wing it. Don't just throw spaghetti at the wall and hope that it sticks. Go into your daily coaching business with a plan of action, with a plan of knowing who you're serving and why you're passionately showing up every single day serving them. Also, through shouting sisters out, encouraging each other will help you encourage yourself. And so when you decide to celebrate other women, you start celebrating yourself more. And lastly, it's through taking care of yourself. I help my new coaches figure out self-care practices, because self-care is truly how you take your power back. And so we aren't always going to feel confident every single day that we show up for our business, and that's okay. But when we believe in ourselves and trust ourselves, big things can happen. And so starting my new coaches on their personal development journey from day one is such a must. I want to make sure that they're building themselves up and expanding and growing their minds and their abilities so that they can show up confidently every single day, believing in themselves. And so you guys, it's time to stop doing the things that don't work. Seriously. Helping my new coaches invite daily and show up as a coach, attracting their niche by being proof of the product works, believing them in themselves through personal development is how I help my new coaches gain traction in their business, and how you can really help yourself gain that traction. I teach my new coaches to celebrate every single step of the way, making everything a big deal, celebrating all the little wins, and move forward knowing that they have what it takes to make this business work in a big way through getting out of their own way and dropping the fears. I encourage my new coaches to step out of their comfort zone every single day, and those things make a huge difference.
Well, this was just an unexpected call of love and joy. Thank you very, very much for that. I just lost my voice. 1 second. I circled something on your notes that I found to be so impactful, Morgan. By the way, thank you for your incredibly easy to understand tips. You said, if I try to attract everyone, I will attract no one. And my messaging and my communication will be so lukewarm that it will be from watering myself down to be attractive for everyone. Whoa, mic drop. I circled it. I was like, yes, it's about being yourself, but not watering yourself down to try to attract everyone. That's too exhausting, too hard. Okay, I'm going to continue to cough.
You're good. I'll just add while you cough it out is that, there is so much power in just knowing who you want to attract and just showing up in a way that you can serve her. Because if you know her, you can serve her, right? But if you don't know who it is that you're wanting to attract in your business, it's going to be very hard to show up confidently. And I know that I lacked that confidence in the beginning of my business because I was trying to be someone for everyone. And that just it wasn't fun. It wasn't bringing joy into my business, and it just made it that much harder.
You're knocking it out of the park. If you know her, you can serve her. Thank you very, very much for that. And I'm back. I loved everything that you said today. So I hope people go back to the podcast today and listen to it. I want you to talk about your superpower. And the reason why I bring this up as a last question on the call is because over 3.5 years, you have flexed different muscles and you have grown. A lot of it is personal development, but you have brought something to the table that maybe you didn't know you had or you were going to bring. So talk about your superpower.
Yeah, you guys, the woman I was 3.5 years ago when I said yes to coaching is a completely different woman than I am today. And I'm so thankful for the Beachbody opportunity that allowed me to grow in such a beautiful way. And so I would say that my superpower is my boldness. And that's not something I've always had. I haven't always been bold and trusting myself, but I know what I want and what I deserve, and I'm not afraid to run after those things. I speak big goals and dreams into my business every day, but I have to admit it hasn't always been that way. Beachbody has truly given me the confidence in being bold because I know that as long as I keep showing up, as long as I keep trusting the process, as long as I keep getting myself results and having fun on my journey and helping other people do the same, I'll be changing my family's life forever and crushing all of those big dreams that I have because I've seen hundreds of women go before me and do it. And so when I was a new coach and I was seeing women speak on this national wake up call and dreaming about one day I could show up as that woman, I would just tell myself, if they can do it, why not me? And instead of seeing those women as competition, I just stepped up to know that I'm going to use that woman as inspiration. And so being bold, and I just came to a point in my business where I realized that it was time to stop letting fear boss me around so that I could truly level up personally and professionally. And so when I dropped the fear and I started being bold in the things that I was believing for myself, my business took a huge turn. And not only my business, but my life. My life leveled up, remembering that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be a part of the perfect team or have the perfect upline to be successful. You have what it takes right now, where you're at today, to find success and grow into the woman of your dreams. And so I learned my business off of YouTube and built the team that I wanted. I didn't rely on support from above. I showed up, I dropped the fear, I committed to sharing boldly and finding my people. And I just want to encourage you guys that you guys can all do the same.
That's how it's done, Morgan. Thank you so much. I love all the personal development that you've been doing. It's you can totally tell that you've grown into someone who people listen to and aspire to be. And all the wake-up calls that you listened to in the past, now yours is the one that people listen to. So thank you so much for being on the call. I appreciate you. And let me just tell everybody, it is Keyshawn and I are playing with the buttons, I think. No, okay. It is the last day of the month, as we mentioned early on, and it is the beginning of the week. So there's always a beginning and a middle and an end. Today is your day. Morgan Butler just gave you the information you need to speak to the person you want to serve. This is it. This is your time. If there was a sign, it's here and now. Thanks everybody for being on the call. We'll see you here next week. Bye-bye.